Hello, my loves. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Dustina. This is Spiritually Boujee Astrology, and we're going to take a deeper look at the full moon in Taurus. Now, before I do any type of breakdown, I'm going to do a quick little reminder for everybody that I am running a special on all of my sessions. Everybody's getting new client pricing until the end of the year. If you book a 1 hour session with me, it is $35. If you book a 90-minute session with me, it is $50. All my contact information is listed in the description of every single episode. You can email me, contact me through social media, whatever is going to work best for you. And if you take part in my weekly Zooms that happen on Wednesday nights, there's a special message for you guys that is going to be at the closing of this episode. So make sure you listen at the closing also. All right, moving along. Let's talk about this full moon. Whenever it comes to the sign of Taurus, Taurus wants to be comfortable, wants to feel stable, wants to feel good, likes nice things, luxurious things, sensual things. But whenever it comes up to breaking down what has led up to this full moon and what is happening around this full moon, stability is not really there for a lot of people. There are sudden breaks, sudden shifts in responsibility, a whole different level of awareness in our elders, a new idea from our bosses, something with the authority figures, waiting on responses. And some of us will not like the response that comes through this weekend. The human effect for some people is what I'm saying right now might have already happened. Because again, we've had a few things that have led up to this full moon this week. And I'll cover those as we continue. But there will also be a lot of busyness and a lot of buzz immediately following this full moon, going into the weekend and taking us into next week. Now, the one thing about this full moon that I thought was very interesting is the condition of many of our chart rulers. 5 of the 12 zodiac signs, your chart ruler is in your fourth house of home life, and family. So, Leo risings, the sun is in the fourth. Virgo risings, Mercury is in the fourth. Libra rising, Venus is in the fourth. Aquarius rising, Uranus is in the fourth. I know he's been there forever, but it still counts. And it's a full moon in your fourth house, so it definitely counts. Anyways. And Pisces, of course, Jupiter is in the fourth. Nearly half of the zodiac signs, your chart ruler is in your fourth house of home life, and family. So for many of you, there will be abrupt changes that has to do with your household. The sudden renovations, the sudden need to buy new furniture, the sudden need to do something. Didn't even have a plan to do it, but you're going shopping this weekend. You're hanging out at Home Depot this weekend. A sudden shift. And it does not have to be bad. I'm gonna have to keep saying this over and over again. This full moon does not have to be bad. Just because something that wasn't going to plan, it does not have to be bad. I'm gonna keep saying that. Anyways, for some of us, it's not going to be our family directly. It's going to have to do with us helping another person with their family. But for so many of the signs to all have their chart rulers in their fourth house, that tells me there's a big shift around family, homes, home life, matrons, and mothers. Some of us can be having issues with our mom. Some of us might be dealing with somebody that's a new mom and they're struggling with it. And they need help. They need someone to step up. They need someone to carry part of the load. Let them take a nap. Let them take a shower. Sometimes that's all a new mom wants is like a few hours to herself to take a nap and take a shower. Like that makes them so happy because it's exhausting. The unexpected aid, the unexpected help, the unexpected. And I keep saying unexpected. Now, why do I do that? This is a full moon conjunct Uranus, the breaker of chains, the breaker of rules, the anomaly. There can be sudden, abrupt, unplanned, unscheduled shifts this week leading up to the full moon and in the days after the full moon. And I said this on the week ahead forecast, and I'm putting in more detail into it now. And for a lot of people, the sudden shift has to do with who is going to be responsible for what. Now, why do I say that? There's two reasons. One, the ruler of this full moon, Venus, entered Capricorn this week. It entered Saturn's sign. And two, while this full moon is perfecting, Saturn turns direct. Saturn is at a place in the sky where he hasn't been here since springtime. And for a lot of people, the things that you started in the springtime, we've had to let something go. And now the awareness of what we've let go is going to be very dominant. For other people, you've been doing something since the springtime. You've been raising the roof, building it up, doing certain things. And whenever we get to Saturn turning direct, we're about to take something to the next level. So there can be a level up in this full moon, a level up in responsibilities, a level up in who's taking care of grandpa. There can be extra need, extra responsibilities, extra care based off of a sudden abrupt event. Thank you, full moon conjunct Uranus. And over the course of the weekend, the sun will actually do a full perfection to its opposition to Uranus. So there is an unexpected vibration, unanticipated, shake the system, shaking comfort in this full moon. Now, for some of us, it's going to be a direct shakeup against you. Again, some of us, we're going to be seeing a shakeup on the other side. But for a lot more people, when it comes to this energy, it's going to create a bit of a scatterbrained effect, especially over the course of the weekend going into next week, of a lot of chatter, a lot of talking, but a lot of change in plans, a shift in momentum. That does not have to be negative. Gotta say that again. Sometimes it's okay to take on auntie duties and uncle duties. That shift in responsibility just means your sister's getting a nap. Just using that as an example still. That shift in the responsibilities can be us stepping up into something by choice. And then feeling the benefit of taking that responsibility. You know, little dude, you're kind of cool. I could hang out with you. This could be a lot of fun. I got a lot of nieces and nephews. I don't know why I'm stuck on them, but that's where I'm stuck right now. It's probably because Venus is in my third house, to be honest. There's a sudden shift in roles, a sudden shift in responsibility, a sudden shift in stability, a sudden shift with loved ones, a sudden shift with the Venusian. So sudden shifts around women, unexpected, unscheduled events, unexpected reactions. And boy, are we heavy on the reactions right now. Some of y'all do not realize just how much Mercury in Sagittarius has grabbed you, but I have seen it firsthand over and over again. Wow. That sudden opinion change that leads to abrupt shakes in the family. There is something very abrupt that is in this vibration. That doesn't mean it has to be a bad thing. I'm going to have to keep saying that. I don't feel like it's meant to be a bad thing. Now, there's a couple signs it's going to be difficult. Gemini risings, it's in your 12th house. Let's start with that. For a couple signs, there's going to be difficulties, but really not everybody. A lot of people are in a good place or they're feeling confident, but we got to make sure we check our egos whenever it comes to confidence. Because again, we could be getting into some stuff that we don't need to get into. But I don't feel like that's a way to center on this full moon. Between Venus going into Capricorn, Saturn turning direct, this full moon again conjunct Uranus. I also feel like all of this week's energy with those three things, all of them are also preparing us for what is announced whenever it comes to Pluto's arrival into Aquarius. Because when you think about it, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, who's turning direct today during this full moon, and Uranus, who's conjunct this full moon. All of it is preparing for Pluto going into Aquarius next week on the 19th. We're in a wave. We're in a shift. This is one peak in the frequency, and it does not have to be negative. Personal choice, personal way of thinking and handling things can make a very big difference as to how we progress from here. And I cannot stress this enough. It does not have to be negative. Just because something does not go to plan doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. Okay, I'm going to get off that soapbox. Moving on. If you have never been a part of a full moon or new moon video, that is perfectly okay. The way I read the signs is based off whole house system. So I do not care if your ascendant is at 2 degrees or 20 degrees. The entire sign your ascendant is in is your first house. And every numerical house that follows is going to be associated with the next zodiac sign. So with that being said, I was trying to talk a little bit louder because there was some background noise. Let's get into the charts. Let's get into Aries risings. Oh, my loves. Now, this is a full moon in your second house of money, your assets, your stuff. What are you doing? Are we buying something? Unplanned purchases, potentially. Are we getting some kind of payout? Are we paying something off? That's a big possibility. A lot of this energy can be helpful with finding a whole different level of stability that we need right now. We can also have some things that are going on at work that start to come to light. Why do I say this? Because the ruler of this full moon, Venus, of course, is in your 10th house of career and public image and goals for the future. It can also have to do with fathers, financial shifts around fathers or around the masculine energy in the house. I do suggest whatever changes start to come through or whatever unexpected events can happen around the full moon, how you move forward from here, go slow. Go so slow. Do not make rash decisions. I know who I'm talking to, and I'm still saying it. Do not make rash decisions. Do not jump the gun. Be patient. Listen to your intuition, and whatever needs to follow will reveal itself on its own. You do not have to push for things to change. Now, why do I say that? Because your cards are actually really good. The first one that came out was the Four of Wands. This is stability. I like to talk about the Four of Wands as like chair legs. You want all four legs of the chair to be on the ground before you put your ass on the seat, or else you're going to fall. Stability. We have the Sun card. We have the Star card. And we have the High Priestess. So we have a lot of energy right here. So Four of Wands, Sun, Star, and High Priestess. The whole idea is we're trying to obtain certain amounts of stability. And again, whatever starts to come to light, whatever sudden shifts in the vibration, whatever decisions are being made. It can either be your decisions or the decisions of another person, whatever is being come out and paid for. If you're getting payouts, this type of thing with the financial aspects, if you're buying something, take your time. Take your time. Do not rush. I know who I'm talking to. Do not rush. The next two you have are the Knight of Coins and the Six of Coins. The Six of Coins and the High Priestess kind of came out together. So I'm going to put these back up here together just to be clear. The Knight of Coins is very, very slow in his energy. The thing about Mars right now, your chart ruler, is Mars is slowing down. We are counting down the days till Mars turns retrograde. You cannot do things fast right now. If you do, you will regret them. If you do not plan them well, if you do not think them through, if you allow reactiveness to take over, it's not good for you. Take it slow, take it easy, make cautious decisions. It is in your favor with that Knight of Coins. Now, with the Six of Coins and the High Priestess, there's give and take in anything. And again, we need to listen to our intuition. If we're helping someone, don't go into it with the expectation that they're going to help you back unless you've had a conversation. If they're not quick to help you back or pay you back, because it is a second house, full moon. If they're not quick to help you back or pay you back, do not hold a grudge. Allow things to happen naturally. And again, listen to that intuition. Now, again, this is a full moon conjunct Uranus. And shortly after this, Pluto is going to move into Aquarius. And when I may say shortly, I mean it's the 15th. And Pluto goes back into Aquarius on the 19th. It is just a few days away. Some of the changes that are going on in the workplace, within the family, around your children, some of the things that are starting to impact you financially with the second house full moon is also going to affect more than just you. It's going to affect how you connect with people, Pluto going into the 11th, how you connect with your team members, Pluto going into the 11th, your clients, the people that you choose to share your space with, who you are donating your time to, Pluto going into the 11th. Make cautious, smart decisions in this vibration because it can give you stability to weather the storm that is a Mars retrograde. Because that's coming. Make smart decisions. Do not be impulsive with your purchases. Save your money as best as possible. Because you don't know when you're going to need that rainy day fund. But we're going into timelines where we're going to have need for a rainy day fund. And I would not be surprised if we get into the point that we start talking about the purchase of travel. We need to be aware of where we're traveling. And if I had a choice for everybody, I would say to keep your ass home for Thanksgiving, but I don't get the choice for everybody. So there's that. All right. Moving along. Moving along. We're going to get to Taurus and Taurus risings. Oh, the star of the show. Oh, babies, this is a full moon in your first house. You, your identity, your egos, your decisions, your mindset, your ideas. Conjunct Uranus. This full moon is conjunct Uranus, the ruler of your 10th house of career, your goals for the future. Saturn is turning direct in your 11th house of friends. Venus, your chart ruler, is in your 9th house. Are we having to travel more for work? Are we taking on additional training for work? Are you starting to train someone else so that way they can be better at work? You have certain decisions, and there can be things that speak to levels of commitment. Now, when I'm saying commitment, I want to be absolutely clear. This does not have to be romantic. And I'll say that again when I show the cards. Partnerships do not always have to be romantic. A business partnership is not a romantic one. Your best friend, not a romantic one. And I want you to be very aware that this is not an energy that speaks to love and lovers. So if we're looking for new things in relationship, I wouldn't. We have bigger goals in mind. Now, this is a full moon conjunct Uranus, and Uranus, of course, rules that 10th house of career and goals and public image. 4 days after this full moon, Pluto is going to move into Aquarius. You can be making decisions that have an immediate impact to your future, to your goals, to your public image, launching the brand, taking steps in a new direction, taking steps forward, getting over a fear, focusing on what's next for you in your career, in your goals. Oh, now Mars is slowing down. And if Mars is your time lord, for some of you, Mars can be your time lord. There can be some very shaky ground when it comes to family. Now, I didn't really talk about you guys in the intro of this, but it's true. There can be some shaky ground when it comes to family and mothers, since Mars is slowing down in your fourth house of home, home life, and family. And some of you are going to make very sudden, abrupt decisions to walk away from situations, to move away from situations with the goal of a better future in mind. And that's going to take some time for a lot of people to get used to. And for you, it won't be an abrupt decision. It's something that you've been stewing on for a while. What will feel abrupt to other people is now that you're pulling the trigger and doing it. I'm gone. I'm launching. I'm doing this. I'm moving. I'm changing. Whatever it is. There's something there, and the changes that are being reflected are based off what is best for you, Taurus risings. Not everybody's gonna like your decision. King of Swords. But again, you've been stewing on it for a while. And you need to make the right decisions for you, for your goals, and for your future. Now, for some of you, again, we have some training. Why do I say that? Venus is in your 9th house, which is an education house, as much as it's a travel house. And Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, is turning direct in your 11th house of friends. So with this Lovers card, this is why I said before, things can start to come together. Two entities come together and they make a bond. Partnerships don't always have to be romantic. You can be making a bond, making a change in the workplace with the people that you surround yourself, for your clients, with your clients, around your clients, to again focus better on what you desire in your goals, what you desire for the future. You've been waiting for this for a while. You've been slow to make this decision. And for many of you, it is time to make these big world, big boy, big picture decisions. Knight of coin, sun card, world card. There's a public element to what's coming, and that speaks even more to that vibration that Pluto's about to move into your 10th house. You guys are going to be making some very intricate and big decisions as to where you're going next into the future. And even though you've been stewing on it for a while, other people can be very, very shocked that you're going to decide to walk away, that you're going to decide to pivot into the new direction, to take that step in that way, knowing that what you've been settling for in the moment has not been giving you fulfillment. But now we desire fulfillment. We desire that need to be respected, that need to be seen, that need to be able to change something and to have a different level of control in regards to what we want in our careers, what we want as individuals, what we want to succeed. I like the energy for you guys. Make good decisions. And again, I don't think you guys are doing something so abrupt as much as other people can be, because you're slow to make your decisions. I think other people are just going to be in shock that you're finally pulling the trigger, like I said before. Okay, moving along. Moving along. All right, Geminis and Gemini risings. My loves, my loves, my loves. Oh, this is a little bit different for you guys. Whenever it comes to a full moon in your 12th house, this is the unknown, unseen, endings, betrayal, backstabbing, healing. It can require healing, getting something worked on, getting something closed out, finding out a secret. Now, the secrets thing is real interesting for you guys. Now, why do I say that? This is a full moon in Taurus, Venus's sign, and you're experiencing Venus in your 8th house, which is a financial house. You can suddenly have an unexpected bill come through, a tax bill that you did not anticipate. You can have an unexpected payout because of someone's passing or death. You can have an unexpected payout based off of an insurance claim or a lawsuit of some sort that starts to come through. You can also have an unexpected blindsiding situation that speaks to affairs and secrets. And that is a harder pill to swallow. But why do I say that? Well, we got to pay attention to what's going on with your chart ruler right now and the fact that it is in mutual reception to Jupiter. And we are about to have a Mercury retrograde. Next week, I will do the Mercury retrograde video, and this will make a lot more sense to everybody, but I'm giving you guys a glimpse of it right now. Many of you are going to feel betrayed by another person, by a legal situation, by a partner, by a boss. Saturn is turning direct in your 10th house of career. You're going to be blindsided by something, and that's going to leave you scrambling with how you are connecting with others, how you are dealing with others. It might not be that your boss is leaving or that you're getting fired. It might be that somebody else is getting fired, and now all of their crap is falling onto your plate, and you're suddenly having to deal with a shift in responsibility. You're suddenly having to make major changes in regards to how you see your connection with others, how you see different things in partnership. And again, it's not going to necessarily be as fun for you guys, but that doesn't mean that you're not capable of handling it. So let's start with this. Wheel of Fortune. It's a great way to start this 12th house full moon. The Wheel of Fortune has a lot to do with divine timing. And we all have a certain amount of things that need to come to light. And this is a very, very interesting energy for the mutable signs. Since Mercury and Jupiter are in mutual reception, you can be teaching someone else, training someone else because you are about to leave. You say something in this full moon that, hey, I'm walking away. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I quit. Here's my notice. You have until the end of the year to find my replacement. You have until Thanksgiving to find my replacement, whatever it is. You can walk away. They can walk away. You can also, again, Mercury starting to slow down in that 7th house, have something that comes up from that other side. We have this Justice card and we have this Lovers card. From the other side, from the other person, that shifts the perspective, that shifts our focus. And as much as we can desire another side and desire another person, they might not be truthful in the matter. Your awareness to check them is going to be very, very necessary. And this is going to be a very difficult time for you whenever it comes to relationships and legal matters. You can have an unexpected payout, like I said. Somebody wants to settle a court case, potentially. But you can also have an unexpected shift in another person that you didn't see coming, that you did not anticipate. And it can put you into a deep place and a darker place, but it can also be one of those things that it gives you relief. It's almost like healing, like, all right, good. I didn't have the strength for that right now anyways. You're leaving, good. I'm sick of your shit. You've been driving me nuts forever. Like, this is that kind of vibration. The balance can happen in a multitude of ways, but so too can the blindsiding. If you are having to walk away from another person, that person was a lesson in how you see relationships, a lesson in how you see partnerships, a lesson to go in a new direction. And a lot of people are about to go in new directions. And you guys are going to be making some very drastic changes over the course of the rest of the year. And I'm happy for a lot of you. Now that Saturn is direct, there's going to be a question of whether you have the strength to turn something around or whether you have the strength to move forward in a different direction. And I think that you can. If somebody else is walking away and then suddenly all the responsibility of something is falling onto you in a way that you did not anticipate, I think that you can handle it. Not only do I think that you can handle it, but I think you can turn it into something that's way better and way bigger than anyone anticipated. It's just staying focused on the goal and not being so brokenhearted about who and what is walking away, because that walking away energy is meant to restore certain types of balance, whether that is in an actual relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, that type of thing, or if it is in a marriage, there's a reason to walk away. If this has to do with a legal matter, with that justice card, especially Mercury being in the 7th, this has to do with a legal matter. We might finally get some headway and closure in regards to insurance payouts or lawsuits, things along these lines that can finally work in your favor. Negotiations are coming, especially when Mercury turns retrograde on the 25th. Negotiations, shifts that are focused on the other side, coming from the other side. And they can be very big for you. Okay. Moving along. We're going to get to Cancers and Cancer risings. Oh, my loves. Okay. This is a full moon in your 11th house. Your friends, your clients, your coworkers, the people you share your space with. We're ending a friendship. Now I want to add an extra layer to this that a lot of Cancer risings are not going to like. This is a full moon in your 11th house of friends, and immediately following this, Pluto is going to leave your 7th house of relationships. Many Cancer risings are going to be ending friendships, either you just have or you're about to, or ending relationships with people that should never have been more than a friend. With Pluto leaving your 7th house, many of you are having to break away from old toxic patterns. Because again, some of the people that we have shared our space with, shared our life with, shared our business with, shared things with, has had a toxic pattern to it that it is time to break. And not only do we break, we run. We make the decision, we stick to that decision, and we know come January and February when Mars is retrograde in our first house, well, y'all's first house, not mine, in your first house, there's tests coming as to whether you've made the right decision. And I am telling you now, you're making the right decision. Run, don't walk. Stick to the facts, stick to what you know, and break the patterns of manipulation when it comes to that other side. Your focus needs to be on what's best for you, your family, and in some ways, that is going to put a different focus into money. Money can be a big part of this. Okay. The person that you are right now in this full moon is not going to be the person that I'm going to be talking to come springtime. You will not be the same person whenever it comes to April and May, Taurus season. The amount of change that will shift around you, the amount of change in regards to how you see certain people, it's going to drastically change. And if you stay focused on what's best for you in career and focused on what's best to get your money straight, that's going to be the best thing for you. Many of you are making very big decisions around this time frame. Either you just made them in like the Mars Pluto opposition right at the end of October. I'm giving you guys a bit of a bigger window. Or you're in process from the big decisions. There's a reason your emotions start to turn off when you're no longer emotionally attached to someone else. There's a reason that everything just feels so dry and humble. And that's because our logical brain takes over when it comes to the water rising sign. So that applies to Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. But what I'm looking at is you have Jupiter in your 12th, forcing you to expand in an area that needs to heal and take logical steps into a new direction and ending certain relationships, leveling up the way that you meet with people, the way that you are being seen with people, leveling up things whenever it comes to your public image. That's not just in this full moon, that's a part of the 6-month vibration. But you are making very intelligent decisions right now to do something very, very quickly. So there's the Two of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Chariot card. We are not sitting still. We are making decisions to move ahead, to move in a certain direction, to go forward in a certain way. Queen of Swords, Two of Swords, Chariot card. Okay. Now, when I keep saying you guys are going to get tested, I'm serious. You will get tested when Mars retrogrades back into Cancer in January. And if I put this into your heads now, it'll make it easier once we get to that vibration of being like, okay, it's just a test. It's just a test. It's just a test. It's going to test whether you've learned the lesson. You're going to get tested whether you can stick to your guns and create a new tradition for yourself that does not include a toxic pattern in behavior with other people with that Hierophant card. Next is the Sun card and the Queen of Wands. You guys are on a trajectory towards a new set of goals, towards how you're going to succeed in life, towards a new direction in your public image, a new direction with fathers, a new direction in career. You have a path, Cancer risings. You have a path. And following your gut, following your desire to be better, to achieve, to feel stronger, allows a whole different level of passion and fire to vibrate from you. And I know you're a water sign, but that does not mean that passion cannot vibrate from you, that a fire cannot burn within you. We got whole charts. A lot of us got stuff in fire signs. Be aware of the vibration. Now, I want to add one extra thing for you guys just to keep you in awareness. If you are having issues with your digestive tract, that upcoming Mercury retrograde is in your 6th house of health. I'm going to say the same thing to Capricorn risings, okay? With Jupiter in your 12th house. If you or anyone that you care about is having issues with the digestive, stomach bugs, not being able to hold food down, having issues with breathing. Remember, Mercury has rulership of anything on your body with duality. We're having issues with our lungs. We're having issues with our digestive tract. I keep picking up digestive tract, by the way. Do not dismiss that. And if you're being around somebody that has it, do not dismiss that. There is a reason for that. Do not play with it. Do not let it get worse than it needs to do. Call the doctor before it turns into an emergency room visit and a hospital stay. Listen to my words. And that's not specific to the full moon. That is specific to the end of the year. But I'm planting the seeds in your heads. I love you. Okay. Okay. Moving along, we're going to get to Leos and Leo risings. Oh, my loves, what are you doing? Who are you pissing off? Who have you made mad? What have you shooken up That's impacting society, that's impacting the public, that's impacting other people that you surround yourself with, that's impacting your friends. What are you shaking up right now? Because there's a lot. And that all has to do with Mars is in your first house. And remember, with Mars in your first and your chart ruler, the sun, in your fourth house of home, home life, and family, many of you are starting to shake some things up in the family, in the household. You're being pushed to make certain decisions. And some people think that you're being heartless in your decisions. You are not. And for some of you, whatever happens in this full moon is also going to potentially impact partnerships. Why do I say that? Because it is a full moon conjunct Uranus, the modern ruler of your seventh house of relationships. It is a full moon that includes Saturn turning direct, the traditional ruler of your seventh house of relationships, right before Pluto, the other ruler of Scorpio, moves into your seventh house of relationships. Who are you making mad? What are you focusing on? What are you doing? And remember, all year until next June, this started in May, until next June, June 9th of 2025, all of that year time span, you guys are in lessons of understanding the differences between friends and lovers. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you doing things different in relationship? Are you doing things different with your kids? That could be a good thing. Are you starting to hang out with the parents of one of your kids' friends and it's starting to feel a little weird? Stop doing that. It sounds weird. I know that sounds weird, but stop doing that. Because of Mars slowing down in your first. This is why I'm saying don't do that. Don't do things like that. With Saturn in your eighth house, a lot of you, while Saturn was retrograde, have been dealing with levels of like not wanting to be sexual. Saturn dries up certain areas, but now that Saturn is direct in your eighth house, we're about to have a Mercury retrograde and a lot of other stuff going on in your fifth house. These are your sexual houses. And Mars, that ruler of desire and part of our sexual organs, is in your first house. You can get into some very hairy things when it comes to relationships, confusing friends for lovers, affairs in this vibration. And I need you all to be mindful because it can be an undoing very, very quickly. Now, oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. We're making certain decisions. Sometimes those decisions are great. Other times, not so much. We need to be aware and make as logical decisions as possible. But my nervousness with you guys is I don't necessarily know that it's going to be very, very logical with Mercury being in your fifth house. That inner child energy is vibrant and it wants to have fun and it wants to do new things. And this can be a struggle to get certain things accomplished. So let's be clear about that. Okay. Now, certain energies, whenever it comes to what's been going on deep inside of you, is starting to come out of their shell, especially now that Mars is in your first house. And again, we've got that fifth house energy, that eighth house energy. We can start to feel like we want to pursue something. For some of you, that is going to be a sexual energy. For others, that is going to be an energy that is 100% based around what is best for your children. And that's kind of a double-edged sword. Some people are going to go one way and some people are going to go another way. But we have something that we've been dealing with quietly, Hermit card, dealing with while like Mars was in the 12, that now the things are being brought to the surface. We feel like we want to pursue them in a different way with that Knight of Cups. And for some of you, that's going to require a very strategic level of conversation. The Seven of Wands can be an argumentative card. It can be a combative card, but it's a persuasive card. We need to start to persuade certain people. We feel desire for a certain person and we can become very persuasive. We're literally persuading the people around us with the Three of Wands. People that are in our atmosphere, people that are in our energy. people that we want to connect with. We are trying to persuade them in some way. And some of you are going to, again, start to connect with other people in a whole different way, in a public way. So this can go into relationships. Some of y'all ain't listening to me. Some of y'all are going to start taking some steps into a direction. Here's that last card. It's the Fool card. That aren't being seen clearly. And if you do that, again, we have that imprint of volatility. Some of you are looking at the possibilities of like sexual adventures and things like that. And again, you're not thinking clearly. Some of you are going to be pursuing something that literally is going to impact other people on a mass scale, on a big scale. Jupiter in your 11th, full moon conjunct Uranus in the 10th, while Pluto is about to move into your 7th. For some of you, it's going to be more political, more judicial, more government, more teachable, bringing lessons. And that's the better way to go in this energy. Finding ways to help others, to overcome past struggles, to get out of abusive situations. If we're going the humanitarian route throughout the rest of the year, it's better for you guys. If we go the manipulative, sexual, secretive route, because I can see this going a lot of different ways for you guys, it's not a good vibration. Make smart decisions. Mars only goes 2 more degrees before, well, 2.5 more degrees before he turns retrograde. December 6th. We are less than a month away. And that means the decisions you are making in this full moon right now, they can be tested literally a month from now. Between now and Christmas. Make smart decisions. Stay mindful. Okay. I'm gonna quit picking on you guys. Moving along. For Virgos and Virgo risings, oh, my loves. Okay, this is a full moon in your 9th house. Higher education, higher learning, travel, institutions, faith, how we connect to source, connect to our higher self, connect to ancestors. Now, ancestors is a very interesting aspect, but I'm going to say ancestors because Mercury, your chart ruler, is in your 4th house of home life, and family. We can have sudden things that are going on that are impacting the family. We can have sudden shifts that are going on that are impacting the family. We can have sudden moves that we're trying to do, and it's a family affair, a family event. Everybody's going on the bus. Everybody's going on the plane. Everybody's going on the trip. There can be things tied to that 9th house of travel. Now, I want to focus a little bit more on Saturn turning direct in your 7th house of relationships, and the fact that we are about to have a Mercury retrograde in your 4th house of home life, and family. Some of you might be finally hitting a wall whenever it comes to your relationships, when it comes to your partnerships, when it comes to your marriage, where you don't feel the same way anymore. You can have certain people that are in your household, in your home life, that are starting to test your patience. And now we're feeling more and more that we've got to hold someone else accountable because they're not willing to hold themselves accountable. They choose to stay stuck. Either you are tired of feeling stuck in certain situations, or you are tired of other people that victimize themselves, Saturn in the 7th, to allow themselves to stay stuck in certain situations. There's that hangman. With Mercury slowing down in your 4th house of home life, and family, you guys are about to have a strategic, structural change around mothers in the home, within the home life. And for some of you, it is also going to impact your children because this is a full moon in the ninth. Yes, but Venus, the ruler of the ninth, is in your fifth house of children. For you guys, especially, there's a lot of focus on the family. And there's going to be a whole different thing, again, tied to children, Page of Cups. Venus is in the fifth, about children, around your children, around things that take you back to your inner child and to your childhood that are starting to become the focus, Page of Cups. Now, some of you are looking at the idea of you want to level up your relationship. You don't want to necessarily hold the other person accountable, but it's more along the lines you guys are actually feeling like you can level up in the relationship. You're getting closer to the holidays. Y'all been dating since springtime. And now it's like, I think I want to introduce you to my family. Oh, that sounds like a fun idea, but they don't even know that you're dating somebody. Oh, yeah. Okay. So with this Three of Cups vibration, we can be introducing certain people to our family throughout the holidays. And either this presence, I'm saying he because it's the King of Coins, this presence, this energy creates confusion, or by him just coming along, he sees the nth degree of confusion and frustration and madness that is your family. Or you're going to meet his family and vice versa. Just your presence being there, it seems like everything got amplified. And it's not that you did anything wrong. It's just that Thanksgiving is going to be interesting. Now, the next two cards are actually very nice cards. They're very successful cards. There is the Six of Coins and there is the Six of Wands. For everything we give, we wish to receive. For everything that we are doing, we want mutual reception. We want mutual levels of respect. And if we're talking about our goals with our family and what we are wanting to do, there can be reception as to support in the changes that you decide to make. Mercury is about to go retrograde. And a lot of you are wanting to make very strategic changes in your household, within your family, that are going to impact the future. Now, the other thing about Mercury being in the fourth and Jupiter being in the 10th, a lot of you can have situations that have to deal with changes and viewpoints in regards to mothers and fathers. Again, this can test your relationships. Some of you are having a very big issue in your marriage, in your relationship, in your partnership. Some of you are going through divorces. Some of you guys aren't introducing the new guy. No. I say guy because it's King of Coins. Sometimes it's a girl. But it's more along the lines of you're focused on something that you wish to achieve, going back to the Six of Wands. And you feel like the only way that you can achieve the goals and the desires that you have is to let go of something that is holding you back. And that will create the confusion that will follow in this full moon, making you aware of that. Because by the time we get to the new moon in Sag at the 1st of December, we're going to be in the confusion. It ain't that far away. Okay. Moving along. For Libras and Libra risings. Oh, my loves, what are you doing? Just as much as Taurus risings are the star of the show, so too can you be the star of the show. Why do I say that? This is a full moon in the other Venus-ruled sign. And Venus, who is also your chart ruler, is in your 4th house of home life, and family. Now, some of you know exactly what you're doing. You're going to be taking out a loan because you're going to modify the house. You're going to buy all new appliances and you're doing it on credit, that type of thing. Some of you are getting an outrageous tax bill that you did not expect, 8th house type things, on your home. And it's like, man, we've got to work on this. We got to talk to the county. We got to do something. You're getting some type of unexpected expense that is tied to the home. That is one way. Another of you can be having unexpected payouts within the family, to the family. Some of you are having to take on unexpected expenses to help a family member out. or some of you are having to make some big changes again to the household because we have something focused around children coming through. Now, why do I say that? Shortly after this full moon, while Venus, your chart ruler and the ruler of this full moon, is in the fourth house of home, life, and family, next week on the 19th, Pluto is going to move into Aquarius. Some of us are going to be making some very big financial changes to do what's best for the family, Venus in the fourth, and for the potential of children, Pluto going into the fifth. Now, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a break right now, but I do know that we're still in a very continuous flow of energy of some things that you guys have instigated. But in this full moon, I don't feel like you are necessarily the instigator. I think you guys are having to deal with the effects of other sides. And you're going to have to make some sacrifices, whether you like it or not. Some things can come to an abrupt ending and abrupt closing because Pluto is about to leave your fourth house of home, life, and family. And it creates a fear around the idea of your children and who's going to take care of them and how things are going to go through. And there can be some shock waves that hit around this full moon. It doesn't have to be directly Friday, around this full moon. We have some very hard cards. We have this Tower card and we have this Ten of Swords. We're done with the eclipse axis in regards to having the eclipses in Libra, but we're not done with the eclipse axis when it comes to Aries, when it comes to that seventh house of relationships. And many of you are going to have to make some very big shifts and adjustments and changes in springtime. But what you can be going through right now is the humps and the hurdles that are going to impact members of the family and recognizing people that need to get cut off or recognizing certain things that need to adjust and change. Some of you might be having some very big sudden shifts in regards to career or your finances with this eighth house full moon. But we have something that is deeply shifting with that Tower card and the Ten of Swords, and it's still kind of heavy from there. Now, when I said Venus is, of course, is in the fourth, we have this Lovers card. We can have certain things that are coming together. We can be forced in some way to reckon with something from our partners, from that other side. Because we have this combative card of the Five of Swords. We have this Knight of Swords pushing for truth to happen, pushing for something to go right, pushing for a certain amount of knowledge, pushing somebody from a place that is not emotional. The facts are the facts. Certain things have already hit. And if we want to do what's best for our children, Page of Cups, there we go. What's best for our children, what's best for our loved ones, what's best for our family, then we need to reconcile certain things. We need to get over certain things. We need to put some things to bed. Right now, your focus is what's best for your family and not stringing certain things along, not stringing certain people along. And since Mars is slowing down in your 11th house of friends and network and clients and colleagues, many of you are going to have to change the way you're connecting with your coworkers or you're connecting with your clients. Some of you are going to be forced to change the way that you connect with the clients, and it will be an unexpected thing. You can have an unexpected shift that takes you out of the workforce, whether that has to do with health or whether that has to do with literally getting fired. There is an unexpected vibration that is about to change the way that you're connecting with people, and it's a required vibration shift to do what's best for your family. And some of you might be making the decision abruptly to end something and to walk away and to go in a different direction. Some of you are going to get forced into it from the other side, from a partner, from a coworker, from whoever that is, It's like they're holding you accountable. They want you to be responsible. And it is Venus in Capricorn. They want you to be responsible. Okay, moving along. Stop picking on you guys. For Scorpios and Scorpio risings, oh my loves, what are we doing? What are we focused on? What have we been working on? With Mars in that 10th house of career, we're definitely working on something. We got something stewing. We got something going on. And many of us can be looking at the energy going into this full moon of having an unexpected, exciting shift that connects to other people, that is about our career. We can be launching something that other people are going to be able to enjoy. There can be something tied to technology in a lot of ways. There have been a lot of things going on in the fire, and a lot of things that have to do with connection and building a foundation for something very, very new. Now, this is a full moon conjunct Uranus. Uranus rules the fourth house of home life, and family. And Pluto is about to go into that fourth house of home life, and family. So I didn't include us in the intro when I said 5 signs have their chart rulers in the fourth, but we are about to have our chart ruler in the fourth. So really, it should have been 6. And there can be something that abruptly changes that has to do with family. Full moon conjunct Uranus. It can have to do with mothers. Full moon conjunct Uranus. Only because that Uranus rules that our fourth house. Now, and that can put a very big focus on what's necessary for the family when Pluto goes into Aquarius. We are starting to show a new vibration as to how family should be taken care of, how family should be seen with Pluto going into the fourth. For the younger Scorpio risings, there is a new vibration that is forcing us to see our mothers differently, to see our family differently. And that can be a little bit harder and a little bit more overwhelming, depending on where you're at. Are you the one taking charge and creating a new vibration in your home life? Are you the one taking charge and pulling people together in a whole new way? Or are you having to deal with the effects of something that you have no say-so in? And that all kind of comes down to the younger Scorpio risings versus the older Scorpio risings. Older Scorpio risings, they're able to take more charge. Younger Scorpio risings, you guys are getting forced into a new stage of your life that is going to alter the way that you see families and mothers over the course of the next 20 years. And that's because Pluto is going into Aquarius. Now, some of us have some big changes coming up. Like I said, we've got Mars in the 10th. We're about to have Pluto going into the 4th. We are showing ourselves differently with the sun, the ruler of our 10th, in the 1st house, to the world very, very differently. And our strength and our compassion and the way that we succeed is meant to be seen at this time. Because again, we've had a lot of things going on. Now, with that 7 of Cups, that's an overwhelm card. But for a lot of us, we've had a lot of things that we've been working on for a while. There's a lot of pots in the fire. There's a lot of things that are brewing and bubbling over. And once we're able to connect all of the different projects, all of the different plans, all of the different things that we've been doing, there will be reception and connectivity that will be celebrated with the 3 of Cups. So it's a very strong and powerful energy whenever it comes to what's starting to shift in this full moon. Some of you are shifting traditions with Pluto going into the 4th. Some of you are going to be getting triggered by the people that you have to be stuck with, that you are surrounding yourself with when Pluto goes into the 4th. And this comes down to older Scorpio risings versus younger Scorpio risings. And that is how I feel about that right now. I feel like if you are in more control of your life, you are pushing into a positive outlook and vibration that is going to really rise to the occasion and give a lot of Scorpio risings a whole new version of themselves, amplified. And I do feel like for the Mars ruled people, so that's Scorpio risings and Aries risings, the first part of the Mars retrograde, there can be gains. And it's odd to say, but I can't shake it. I've been feeling it forever now. There can be gains. There can be gains in the public aspect as much as there is can be tests. This is not a new card. This is a continuous card. But with Pluto going into the fourth, many of us were rewriting how we see family, how we see tradition, how we connect to others. And for some people, that again is going to be a harsh energy. I feel very bad for the younger Scorpio risings. For other people, though, it is going to be an ability to reach into stability. There is stability in that for a lot of them with the Hierophant card. We are very much on a double-edged sword. Some people are going to thrive and do well moving forward. They're going to take charge and take control. And again, rewrite the landscape of the home life of family, while others are going to be forced into something that is far darker than they could ever realize. Because we are at the start of a new 20-year cycle with Pluto going into Aquarius for Scorpio risings. Everybody's at the start of a new cycle, but that's our chart ruler going into the fourth house. And that's what you have to be aware of. Okay. Moving along. We're going to get to Sagittarius and Sagittarius risings. This is a full moon in your sixth house of health. Your health. How you are of service, how you take care of others, pets, sixth house is pets and livestock for all you farmers out there. We can be making some changes at work. Now, I can see that in more than one way whenever it comes to Sagittarius risings. Mercury rules your seventh house of relationships, but Mercury also rules your 10th house of career. Mercury is in your first house. He is starting to slow down. He will go retrograde. And there can be some very big public things that draw attention to you guys, either based off of relationship, Mercury ruling your seventh, or based off of your goals and career, Mercury ruling your 10th. There's something that is coming to a close. You're no longer going to have to take care of certain people the same way, or you're going to have something that is suddenly testing your health, full moon conjunct Uranus, that forces you to change a lot in your routine and a lot in your health. And I want you guys to be very, very aware whenever it comes to the medical astrology. And I will cover this more in the Mercury video that I do next week, the Mercury retrograde video. With Mercury starting to go retrograde in your first house, there can be things tied to your digestive health that is very, very big throughout the rest of the year, and your lungs, because Mercury has co-rulership of your lungs. So we need to be aware of that. However, a lot of the focus is what's best for you, what's best for your family, what's best in partnership, leaving the old wounds behind, finding ways to heal and overcome, and allowing the new version of you that other people are seeing to come through. Now, not directly in this full moon, but over the course of the next few weeks following the full moon, when Mercury goes retrograde, and again, that's going to start the 25th. When Mercury goes retrograde in your first house, you are going to be wanting to make some big changes. Changes either in the way that you care for yourself, changes in career, changes around your identity, a rebranding of sorts for the self-employed people. So that way we can have a better outcome in regards to no longer having fears around money moving forward. So I like the cards for you. We do have the Strength card and we have the Chariot card. So a lot of this energy is very fast moving. It's very much already underway, and it is bringing certain parts of our tenacity. It is bringing certain parts of ourself, and it is making us really focus and breathe new life into who we are becoming next with this star card energy. Oh, we have the Six of Coins and we have the Empress card. Again, we can have some things that are going on around family, going around mothers. We can also be, again, trying to achieve certain things. And there is a give and take in this vibration. The people that we are connecting with are making us feel more solid and more capable because we are connecting with the right people, Jupiter in the seventh. And that level of capability, it is allowing us to realize that all of the past betrayals, Seven of Swords, does not make who we are now. We're stronger. We're more capable. We're more in tune. We are the bad bitch. Empress card. We're the bad bitch. And by having the right people on your side, the right people in your focus, the right people on your team, it is going to help you feel more secure in the changes you feel compelled to make in the weeks ahead. Mercury retrograde. Okay. Moving along. We are going to get to Capricorns and Capricorn risings. Okay, my loves. So this is a full moon in your fifth house of love, luck, romance, happiness, children, behaviors from our childhood, our inner child, childlike behavior. There's a reason like we call it fun. There can be things that start to come up from the past, from our childhood, that we need to heal. There can be things that are going on with our children that show us where changes are necessary and where we need to let go of some things. There is a whole different focus in how we need to communicate and how we take steps forward. And many of you are going to have some tests in what that means. For some of you, it's going to cost you some money. Mars is in your eighth. Pluto is about to go into your second house. But the whole idea is to no longer let old patterns interfere with the things that make us happy moving forward. And also, we need to expect certain tests in regards to health. Now, before I get into cards, I'm going to say this to you guys because I said it to Cancer risings first. The rest of the year is very, very important in regards to your health, your intestinal health, your breathing. This is all very, very important. Why do I say that? Mercury rules your sixth house of health. Mercury is about to go retrograde in your 12th house of the unknown, the unseen, and endings. Jupiter rules your 12th house of the unknown, the unseen, and endings, and he's in your sixth house of health. There's a very big vibration around Cancer risings and Capricorn risings that y'all need to be very, very aware of what's going on in your health. And if something starts to feel off, do not ignore it. Go to the doctor. Use your words with the doctor. Use your words. Don't just say, I don't know what's wrong. No, use your words. That's what's best for you. Beyond that, though, this is a full moon in your fifth house of love and luck and romance, joy, happiness, and children. While we also have a lot of focus going into your 12th house throughout the rest of the year, there are certain things that are going to come to a close. They're necessary in coming to a close so that way you can focus on building a whole new tradition moving forward. We have the Fool card and the Hierophant card, but this will not be immediate. This will be stuff that starts to come through in the springtime. But where some of the shakeups can happen in the immediate can have to do with we've shaken up certain things that are going to impact our children and how we care for our children financially, because it's a full moon conjunct Uranus, while Pluto is about to move into your second house of money. It's still in that opposition to Mars in your eighth house. So there can be things around loved ones and their finances, your children and how you are financially caring for them, or how certain things are paid out to you with Mars in the eighth. But we do have new traditions that are going to have to come through. But in the meantime, we have a lot of fast moving energy that is already underway that has to do with certain people around us, but not us directly. We need other people to do their job. We need other people to make their decisions. We need other people to pull their head out of their ass. Three of Wands. And then there will be a lot of work that needs to be done that needs to follow. Many of you are going to be doing the work yourself, but you're doing this kind of work in pursuant of what's going to give you purpose, what's going to make you happy. We do still have the South Node in your 10th house of career. The ruler of this full moon and your 10th house of career, Venus, is in your first house. For a lot of you, not only is your focus what's best for your lover or what's best for your children, Venus ruling the fourth, but a lot of you are also very focused on what's going to be best for you in regards to getting things lined out in your career. Venus, the ruler of your 10th, in the first. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's a lot of overcoming the past and healing from certain things. So that way, whatever struggle you were dealing with over the last few years of Pluto in the first, we're going to finally be able to overcome it and let go. And again, pursue something that speaks to our heart's desire. We've got that King of Cups. There is work to be done. There's new traditions meant to be built. And for a lot of you, especially if you have children, the unexpected things that can happen can have an unexpected impact on your children, whether that has to do with health, something going on in your health or someone else's health around you, and that has an unexpected impact, whether you automatic or you get an opportunity in a new job, but it's going to force you to relocate, and that has the unexpected impact. There will be an unexpected impact to those of you that have children, or if they're grown children, because sometimes I got the older people listening to me, then you're seeing the unexpected changes around your children. And for some of you, you might becoming grandparents. You could be becoming a grandparent, just to be clear. Okay. Moving along. Oh, for Aquarius and Aquarius risings, oh my loves, it is a full moon conjunct your chart ruler in the fourth house of home, life, and family. Your other chart ruler, Saturn, is turning direct in your second house of money. We need to make some financial decisions in this full moon. We need to make some decisions that are going to impact the family and the home life in this full moon. We can be suddenly agreeing to a renovation, and that's going to cost money. Saturn in the second. We can be making some very sudden adjustments in our home life that seems very unprovoked and unplanned. And that can have a weight that is tied to them whenever Pluto comes into your first house. What decisions are we making? Because there can be judgment that follows. There can be pain that follows, just as much as there can be the tenacity to overcome certain power struggles that follow. Because immediately after this full moon, Pluto is coming into your first house. It's coming into the vibration. He's re-entering the game and putting some things into perspective and bringing certain truths to the surface. And not everybody's going to like those truths. Not everybody's going to like this shakeup. Not everybody's going to like to be held accountable. But the triggers of what you have been hiding, the people that you have been protecting, that old vibration, that old weight, that saddened weight of Pluto going through your 12th house. Once Pluto comes back into the first, we will no longer want to be held down by a power struggle. And by allowing your strength to come through, that can have a positive impact with the full moon in Aquarius. Sorry, the full moon conjunct Uranus and Taurus. I apologize. your Aquarius risings. With that full moon in Taurus, there can be a positive impact that allows for you to push things forward, have certain amounts of success, have certain amounts of positive vibration. And again, there can be judgment. Now, this judgment card, you're going to see it more than once. So just to be clear, many of you have been focused on the way your loved ones, your family, your children are going to be impacted if you make certain decisions, if you hold levels of accountability. With that Page of Swords and this Lover's card, we are worried about the effects of our loved ones. That if we make the wrong decision, that they're not going to have love for us anymore. And that's a big possibility. What's fair for you might not be fair for everybody. And you have to make a judgment call right now of whether you're going to do what's best for you as an individual or what's best for the entire family. And for some of you, whatever decision you make, because this is a full moon conjunct one of your chart rulers while the other chart ruler is turning direct, the decision you make is going to have a shockwave effect. And again, not everybody's going to be happy with it, with that Five of Cups and that Judgment card. Now, the thing about the Five of Cups is if you tell kids, going off of the idea of young children, well, honeys, I think we're going to sell the house and I think we're going to move closer to town. We're going to move to a different school system. We're going to do this. We're making a move. Most kids and their reaction, if it's negative, is like, that means you're going to take me away from my friends and this person that I care about. And I'm not going to have the same boyfriend and I'm not going to know anybody. And there's a fear taken of like, you're taking all of this away from me. And that's the first three cups that we're crying into. They don't recognize the benefit. They don't recognize the gain. They don't recognize the positive. They get stuck in what they're losing. And there comes judgment from that. There comes frustration. You're such a mean dad. Why would you do this to me? Judgment card. If we are holding people accountable, judgment card. If we are making strategic financial decisions, Four of Coins, the judgment will be temporary and it won't be as harsh forever. It's like once we get into the new school year or whatever, I'm saying the new school year, I know we're in the middle of the year, but like if the goal is to do it like next semester or something like that, once we get into the new school and they do start to get to know people and they do start to meet people, they're going to realize that, things are going to go well. But for other people, you're having to make very big financial decisions and pay close attention to where we're spending our money. And a lot of you are going to have to start spending money tied to a other person. And this is going to be a double-edged sword. Mars is in the 7th house temporarily. He will go retrograde. Some of you are going to have to start spending some additional money tied to a legal matter. Mars in the 7th. Some of you are going to start having to make financial changes and make financial decisions because we can't trust the other person. Mars about to turn retrograde in the 7th. They're doing too many unshaky, unrealistic changes that we cannot trust. I'm not pulling new cards. These are cards that we already have. This Five of Cups, Four of Coins, and this Judgment card. They're not new cards. These are the same ones. Because they're acting a certain way, we have to hold them accountable, and that's going to have a financial cost to it. If you are looking at the idea of investing in another person, don't do it. Don't do it. Wait until springtime. Let them figure some things out. Do not put so much financial effort into that other person. You will have regrets to it when Mars turns retrograde. So be aware of that. You're going to get judged no matter what once Pluto comes into your first. You are going to trigger fear and frustration in other people no matter what once Pluto comes into your first. And you will struggle at times with depression and feeling defeated when Pluto comes into your first. It's a 20-year cycle. There's going to be positives and negatives. But the ability to transform, to heal, to overcome, and to provide a whole different level of power and acknowledgement and leadership can also come when Pluto comes back into your first. We are at the start of a 20-year cycle. How you deal with this energy moving forward is your decision. But bottom line, it's time to hold that other side accountable and to stop giving so much grace. And with this Four of Coins energy and Saturn turning direct in your second house of money, you're going to have to make some very strategic financial plans and financial changes to deal with whatever's going on with that other side. Okay. Moving along. For Pisces and Pisces risings, this is a full moon in your third house, which is not a heavy placement. Honestly, it's not. It's unexpected things going on with your siblings, unexpected travel, unexpected communication, releasing some type of rebranding or marketing, doing something with the neighbors unplanned. You come home and they're having a block party and you're like, wow, that looks fun. They're like, hey, come on over. It's not heavy energy. It doesn't have to be heavy energy. Honestly, it doesn't. Now, there can be a lot of social elements, but there can also be something that shifts that feels like certain responsibilities are not going to be the same or as weighted or as pressured anymore. And that's a little bit more intricate. Why do I say that? Saturn is turning direct in your first house. There's a shift in responsibility. There is a shift in recognition. There can also be shifts going on in career. And I'll get to that here in just a minute. Based off of the people that you're aligning yourself with, because Venus, the ruler of this full moon, is in that 11th house of friends and network and clients and colleagues. And it's like by having the right team members around you, whenever somebody goes, okay, we're going to be opening up this new management position, it's like the team says, you should promote so-and-so. Promote Susie, promote Joe, promote Bob. Like them right there, they're the right person. Your team, your surroundings, those people that you've chosen to share your space with, they are the one making you feel seen, making you feel accomplished, making you feel recognized. Some of you, it will be your siblings unexpectedly going, I could not have done this without you. And it's just like, wow, I did not expect that at all. Well, there's been so much going on at the job and you've been doing all this work to take care of mom. Why do I say that? Because Jupiter, one of your chart rulers, is in your fourth house of home, life, and family. You've been doing all this stuff extra with mom. It's been so helpful, so beneficial. I couldn't have done this without you. And we see this very big adjustment in responsibility, in recognition. And it kind of cements that all of the pressure that you have felt, all of the frustration that you have felt, even if you've kept it to yourself, is no longer a burden. And many of you are going to start to feel like you can come out of your shell. You can let something go. You can move away from something. It can go in a more positive and better direction. And that is huge, hugely beneficial and hugely helpful. And I need you guys to be very aware that over the course of the rest of the year following this full moon, we can have a lot of completions. And that actually comes through with your cards. So I'm going to start with the completions. We have the 10 of Wands. By being recognized, Saturn turning direct in your first, the burdens that we haven't wanted to speak about, or we didn't realize other people were noticing with that Hermit card, being acknowledged, being recognized, being seen, having somebody express gratitude in a very unexpected way, it allows for a relief, a release, a depressurizing, and the ability to purge something. And I don't mean purge in the negative sense. I mean just like that level of recognition. We can feel relief by having something unburdened from us with that 10 of Wands. Now, some of you are going to make the decision to not care for someone anymore, to not have that responsibility anymore. Like Saturn turns direct and you're telling your siblings, I'm not taking care of mom anymore. I'm not taking care of dad. I can't do this stuff on my own. Some of y'all got to step up and some of y'all are going to have to help. And some of you are going to have to push in a level of accountability there with the Queen of Swords. And I think it will actually go well. For a lot of people, I think it would go well. Is there going to be some difficulties? Absolutely. But I think other people that if they've truly paid attention to what's been done, if you are able to voice in an articulate way, which you should be able to with Jupiter and Gemini right now, that they can understand, then that level of necessary purge in the decision will be there. And there's a lot of benefit coming. We have this 10 of coins and we have the 10 of cups and we have the world card. That's beautiful. That's beautiful energy. That's a beautiful vibration that has so much benefit to it. And the reason I say there's so much that leads to completions is, again, we have the 10 of wands, we have the 10 of coins and the 10 of cups. Completion, completion, completion. Unburdened, benefit, level up, full picture spectrum. And now that takes me to the rest of the year. Jupiter rules your 10th house of career and your first house. He is the traditional ruler of your first house. Okay? And for this moment, we're just talking about the traditional rulership because we're just talking about Jupiter and Mercury. Jupiter is in your 4th house of home, home life, and family. A lot of your focus right now is what's best for your family. And some of you have had to take on certain responsibilities that you didn't initially want to take on, but now you're recognizing the full pattern of that. Some of you are having to recognize the decisions that you have made as mothers, as matrons, because it's the 4th house. And there's going to be a push to change something with that other side, and that's going to have to do with fathers. Now, why do I say that? Mercury, the ruler of your 4th house, is about to go retrograde in your 10th. That's a career house, yes. Is there public aspects there? Yes. But for this part of the conversation, I want to talk about positions. 4th house is mothers, 10th house is fathers. And there is a strategic change that a lot of people will be making, either in a public way, Mercury retrograde in the 10th, or we're going to be trying to force a decision change, a mindset change, an active mindset change with fathers, around fathers, dealing with the father of your children. That could potentially have a disruption in your routine because Mars is going to go retrograde in your 6th. There can be certain goals and career adjustments, Mercury retrograde in the 10th. And that can have to do with the impact of either your health when Mars goes retrograde in the 6th, or the health of another person when Mars goes retrograde in the 6th. I'm doing more than just what's going on in the full moon. This full moon feels very mundane for you guys. You might just be doing an unexpected trip to the farmer's market the next day. Like, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next county over and I'm going to go do something a little bit different. I'm going to drive over to see my sister, to see my brother. I'm going to do this thing willy-nilly, unplanned, unprovoked, but it feels right to do. The moon for you guys feels very mundane. For you guys, I'm a lot more focused on that Mercury opposite Jupiter because that too goes exact this weekend after this full moon. We have a Sun-Uranus opposition. Simultaneously, we have a Mercury-Jupiter opposition. And that's actually how we start next week. There is news. There is communication. There is very heavy, necessary, responsible conversations. And either you guys are going to be taking on more responsibility, Saturn turning direct in the 1st, or you're going to be recognized for the amount of responsibility you have taken on, Saturn turning direct in the 1st. There is recognition on you and what you have done, the decisions that you have made. And for many of you, you will also be having to make strategic decisions to change the opinion of another person in the Mercury retrograde, whether that has to do with fathers, whether that has to do with changing some adjustments and plans and career, whatever that is for you guys. There is a goal shift and a public shift and an image shift following this full moon throughout the rest of the year for you guys. Okay. I'm going to stop picking on you for just a second. We're going to go into the closing. I said in the beginning of the episode, for anyone that listens to, or goes, not listens to, but goes into my weekly Zooms, that I had an announcement for you guys. After the last few Zooms, like one, I've had to end them early, and then two, with the energy being so high, like, and everybody like has been coming onto those Zooms, like they're getting a lot more popular. It's been a lot of energy for me to the point that the next morning I feel energetically hungover. And I don't want this to be something that turns into a chore for me. And right now it is starting to feel like a chore versus something that I was enjoying, because for a long time I was enjoying it. So for the time being, and most likely this is going to just go through the rest of the year, but we'll see how it goes in the Mars retrograde. My mom is a Capricorn rising, and I'm going to tell you right now, since Mercury has gone into Sag, she has not been doing well with her intestinal health. I've been taking care of my mom a lot. And I need to make sure that I have enough time to focus on that just as much as I focus on my individual sessions with people. So I'm picking my battles right now, and my battle is going to be more focused on her and, of course, work. So for the time being, there will not be any more weekly Zooms on Wednesday evenings until either the energy starts to die down, which of course we know is not going to be until January, or until I feel a lot more confident in her health to where I don't need to put extra time in and around her. So there's that. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for everyone that books with me. Of course, I'm still going to run the special until the end of the year. I'm always going to set aside time for everybody, but like I said, I'm picking my battles. But thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the people that listen and the people that share this. I will talk to everybody very, very soon. Subscribe.